doubles finalists make their way onto court. And this is where it all started as far as Wang Xiaoli and Yu Yang are concerned, because a year ago at the China Masters was their first ever tournament together in partnership. The previous tournament to that had been the World Championships, and they faced each other in the final of those World Championships, opposite sides of the net. After the Paris World Championships, the partnerships were mixed about and swapped around, and head coach Li Yongbo decided on Wang Xiaoli and Yu Yang was going to be the strongest combination. My goodness, what a big decision that was. Since this tournament last year, they've played 12 individual tournaments. They've won 9 titles. One of those tournaments, this lady, Wang Xiaoli, got carried off court, injured. It was in the first round of the China Open. And apart from that, they've only lost twice, once at the Asian Games in the final against their teammates Tianqing and Zhao Yunlei, and lost to that same pair in the final of Malaysia. So the world number ones, Wang Xiaoli and Yu Yang, thoroughly deserving that title. 25-year-old Yu Yang from Li-Ning province, of course Olympic champion in the women's doubles, won that title in Beijing with Du Jing, and also Olympic bronze medalist in the mix with He Hanbin. So for Wang Xiaoli, she of course was silver medalist at those World Championships last year, gold medalist this year in Wembley last month, so they are the world champions, and quite frankly, who would bet against them winning gold in London 2012, the form they're in at the moment. Tang Jinhua, the 19-year-old, she and her partner both 19 years of age, won the World Junior title 2 years ago when it was staged in Malaysia. Huan. World ranking at the moment for this pair of 85, but we can't pay any attention to that because they've only got 3 tournaments towards that world ranking. Up to a number of tournaments, of course, is 10. To get a realistic world ranking, you need 10 tournaments, and then if you've got more than 10 tournaments, then you can discard your worst results. Well, when you've only got 3, and one of those results included winning the Indian international event in December last year. Apart from that, they've only played in China, an international senior competition that is, rather than the junior event. But what a tournament they've had, the youngsters. Second round, they beat the number 2 seeds, Mayuki Maeda and Satoko Sutsuna of Japan, bronze medalist from the World Championships.
China. And on my left, Wang Xiaoli, China. Yang to serve to Huan. Level play.
So the world champions, the world number ones, and the defending champions, Wang Xiaoli and Yu Yang, far side of the court in the yellow shirts, up against the former world junior champions Huan and Tang Jinhua. Well, I was telling you that the youngsters have had a great tournament, because in the first round they beat Jwala Gutta and Ashwini Ponnappa of India in 3 games. They of course were the bronze medalists from the World Championships last month. And then in the second round beat the other bronze medalists from last month's World Championships, Maeda and Sutsuna. Quarterfinal disposed of teammates Changzhou and Pan, the number 8 seeds, and yesterday in the semi-final disposed of the number 3 seeds, the All England finalists this year, Mizuki Fuji and Roika Kakiwa. In the semi-final yesterday against that Japanese pair, current world number 3s, won in 2 straight games. Apart from that, they've gone the full distance, 3 games in their first 3 matches. So for this pair, well, they had a bye in the first round. Semi-final against the number 4 seeds, the only pair they've ever lost a match to, their teammates Tianqing and Zhao Yunlei. needed 3 games to come through 21-19 in the decider. An hour and 6 minutes that was. That pales into insignificance in comparison to the marathon matches that these two youngsters have endured and come through. That second round match against the number 2 seeds Maeda and Suetsuna, an hour and 29 minutes. Well, this is actually the second time that these two pairs have met each other in international competition. First time was the first round of this event last year, and it was 3 games on that occasion. So this is anything but a foregone conclusion, especially when you look at that previous head-to-head encounter and also the number of world-class pairs that these youngsters have beaten so far in this tournament. Oh, I'll go. Real confusion. Smash racket. Tang Jinhua just allowing her opponent to try out the new racket. Good crisp smashing from Yang. Has landed in good defence. And I think as far as the world number ones are concerned, they do have a very definite favoured formation, which is Yu Yang coming forward to the net, Wang Xiaoli doing an awful lot of the hard work from the back of the court. Wide. Yeah, I think there's real signs that the world champions are a little bit nervous about this. So they should be. Perhaps there's nerves on both sides. Good play. A little confused as to where she's supposed to be standing on court. It is her that's receiving. Yeah, big smash. confusion again. Oh, it's too flat, it's gone long. And I wonder if Wang Xiaoli and Li-Ning were so concerned and built themselves up so much to their semi-final match last night against Xincheng and Zhao Yunlei that emotionally and perhaps physically they're a little bit drained from that. Of course, all the pressure is on the world champions here. Up against players that are still juniors. Singles champion. Lost very disappointingly yesterday to Wang Xiaoli. Yeah, push deeper and deeper in her defence, Huan. Was called good. Yang doesn't like the call. Well, I have to say I was surprised by her decision to leave it, because her opponent's been pulled out of position. All she had to do. First we are able to see it again, see it in slow motion. Good play by the youngsters. And normally when I watch Wang Xiaoli and Li-Ning playing, they're so aggressive in their style. I've talked at length about how refreshing and how good it is to watch them play, because they are adventurous, they do like to attack. And we have been through a period where women's doubles has very much revolved around defensive play, which is not so attractive to watch. Dynamic, exciting, attacking play, always better for the spectators. We haven't really seen too much of their all-out attack so far in this contest. I know they're capable of it. Perhaps testament to the defensive qualities of their opponents. Good. Oh, she took that was going out, but won the rally nonetheless, and in a remarkable surprise, it is the former World Junior champions who have the advantage at the mid-game interval against the current World Champions. Well. And I said this wasn't going to be a foregone conclusion. Closer at a mid-game interval. doubt in my mind. These two are feeling the pressure, the burden of expectation now they've become world champions. Luck of the net cord. Huan. Clever. Nice change of pace from Yang. Yeah, delightful. Rather concerning though that she was asking to towel down immediately. Struggling with her fitness, or maybe struggling with an injury. Clever. It's the change of pace. Last two rallies, a little block and also the drop shot that has done the damage. Yes, little signs of frustration. Yeah, I think that semi-final late yesterday evening with Wang Xiaoli and Yang. Mentally and physically taken its toll. Well taken from Wang Xiaoli. Few people here expected it to be as close as this in these early stages. Game one, absolutely level, 14 all. Confusion again, my goodness. Just wide. Well, when you look at the overall picture of the amount of badminton that these 4 players have had to play throughout the duration of this tournament, throughout the week, as the mixed doubles winners get a little bit of talking to and a bit of advice from their coach. When you look at the big picture, it is the youngsters who have been on court for far longer. Youngsters have played 4 previous matches. World champions only 3 because they got a bye in the first round. In fact, it's a little disappointing that only 24 players in the women's doubles competition here. Draw of 32. And of those 32, 4 were supposed to come in the qualifying event, but just not enough entries to fill those 32 places. This pair is definitely stars of the future. Up against the stars of the present. That's more like the sort of form and rally we're used to seeing from Wang Xiaoli and Yang. 16 all. This is obviously, each point is fairly critical at this stage of a game. Unforced errors like that won't help the youngsters. A nervous flick serve to me. We've really seen the attack and more attack and variation in attacking play that we usually see from the world champions. Yeah, that's more like it. Good rally. Ran out of patience in the end. Brilliant defence by the youngsters. Well taken. Points away from the opening game. youngsters were to win this opening game, they only need 2 points. It's 19 all. I'd be very interested to see how the world champions reacted to that. Psychologically, they'd be able to come back. Well, that, I have to say, is a little bit naughty from Yu Yang. Got ready, waited until her opponent was about to serve, and then said, "No, I'm not ready." Brilliant defence, wonderful. Huan guiding the shuttle across court into the open space for the outright winner. And now the youngsters have game point. Take it. Extraordinary. Well, they've been showing great form all week. They've already disposed of both the bronze medalists from the recent World Championships. They've already disposed of the number 2 and 3 seeds. And here they are, a game up against the current world champions and number 1 seeds. Extraordinary. 21-19. Over 23 minutes. Concerned here because the umpire, I think, has called for the tournament referee, and I have a nasty feeling that either Wang Xiaoli or Yu Yang is going to pull out of this final. Obviously, I don't know what the problem is. Illness or injury, I'm really not sure, but it looks to me as if the tournament doctor has been called. To me as if it's possibly Wang Xiaoli, but certainly one of these players looks as if they've perhaps had enough. Yes, it's Wang Xiaoli. Well, this would be absolutely tragic. I was saying towards the end of that opening game that I'd be very interested to see how the world champions reacted psychologically and mentally to try and come back if they weren't to win that opening game. Well, there's an ice pack coming out. Looks as if it's going on an ankle, and I have to say that's the Chinese team doctor. Now, it was my understanding that it had to be the tournament doctor who was assessing and treating tonight. Well, be wrong. But I suspect that is the Chinese team doctor. Well, I think they're calling it a day. Yeah, there we go. Yu Yang has shaken hands with opponents. The crowds are not pleased at all. I have to say that is extremely disappointing. Well, Wang Xiaoli, I think, is in tears. Can't say as I saw any real problem with her movement in that opening game. doesn't appear to be something that went drastically wrong, but she's decided she's had enough, and therefore the title is awarded to the former World Junior Champions. My goodness, we're going to be seeing an awful lot of Xia, Huan and Tang Jinhua, because they are very talented indeed. And she's hobbling through the court. I did make comment, of course, in the opening game that they weren't playing their normal style, and I thought that they may be fatigued from their semi-final late yesterday evening. And as I say, I can't say that I really noticed any problem with her movement. I just thought maybe they were a little bit tired, but obviously it was more than just fatigue, and it was actually an injury problem. But of course that means that we will have the prize presentation coming up very shortly, and it gives me the opportunity to tell you what else we've got coming up later on this afternoon. Of course, following the prize presentation for the women's doubles, we'll have the women's singles final, and local player Xincheng against the 2009 winner Wang Xia. And then the last of our 5 finals this afternoon will be men's doubles. The holders and 2-time winners of this China Masters title, the 4 times world champions, appearing in their 5th final, Kai Yun and Fu Haifeng, up against Zhang Jae-sung and Li Yongdae of Korea.
观众朋友们，现在我们将要进行的是本次大赛裁判长奖牌颁发仪式。
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now about to begin the awarding ceremony.
现在有请本次大赛组委会主任、国家体育总局体育中心主任、中国羽毛球协会副主席兼秘书长刘凤年先生为担任本次大赛的裁判长，罗米尔先生、副裁判长赵元奎先生、刘倩女士以及编排长吴立新先生颁发纪念牌。
Let's welcome Mr. Liu Guangyan, Director of the Organizing Committee, Director General of Table Tennis and Badminton Administrative Center, TASC, Vice President and Secretary General of CBA, to present commemorative plates for the referee team, Mr. Mobian Milita, Mr. Chou Wen-yu, Ms. Liu Qian, and Mr. Wu Lixin.
请颁
just explaining what the problem had been with her partner. Certainly got a big bag of ice on her ankle right now. The champions from a year ago had settled for second best, and the champions this year, I hope we're going to see a lot more of Xia, Huan and Tang Jinhua. Former World Junior champions have been absolutely sensational throughout the tournament. Well, this pair won the event in India in December last year. Apart from that, they've only played international events here in China. China Masters last year and the China Open.
Let's welcome Mr. Xue Longfei, Vice General Manager of Jiangsu East Project Management Consulting Company Limited, to present the prize money and award prize that will be utilized to the campaign.
请颁奖嘉宾和获奖运动员合影留念。
Let's invite our distinguished guests to take photos with winners.
请颁奖嘉宾退场。
Distinguished guests, please leave the hall.
请获奖运动员退场。
Dear players,